Welcome aboard, Helldiver. Now that you're here, the war is as good as won.
The automatons are a good reminder to never get complacent. It's like I always say, military spending is always money well spent.
If we don't stop the bugs' mindless reproduction, the burden's going to fall on our children. And our children's children. Watching Helldivers in action is great for crew morale. It's even better than a dissident execution. There's no day-night cycle on board these ships. I like to imagine it's always morning, with a whole day of defending freedom left ahead of me. The destroyer is mighty, but it's not Super Earth's greatest weapon. No, that is managed democracy. The one thing our enemies can never understand. If the Terminids had stayed on the Element 710 farms where they belonged, all this bloodshed could have been avoided. Some of the crew like to talk about what they'll do when the war is over. I don't allow that sort of thing. We need to focus on the fight. Each mission puts this crew at risk, but everyone here would gladly give their lives to preserve democracy. You know, the problem with the bugs is that they're relentless expansionists. In their region of space, we found them on nearly every planet we've settled. The bots are simple enough. A little more than bits of metal welded to a gun and a CPU, with a single overriding directive: kill. Stay vigilant, Helldiver. Complacency plays right into the hands of dissidents. You inspire me, Helldiver. You inspire us all. The election is coming up. Even in the midst of war, managed democracy stands strong. Keeping things running around here isn't easy. But if that's how I can best serve liberty, I'll do it gladly. I'm sure you've wondered how voting works on a destroyer. Don't worry, our terminal is top of the line. Latest algorithm and everything.
Once this cleanup operation's over, I'm hoping they'll keep the Helldivers active indefinitely, as a galactic patrol force. The automatons weren't much of a threat, but you never know what else could be out there.
They escaped the farms. They murder good citizens of Super Earth. Now, they're coming for you. The only thing that can stop them? A strong economy! Don't let your family get murdered. Spend your extra cash today.
Small fractions of the bug population are showing resistance to the termicide. This sort of thing is to be expected, of course.
The more we fight, the more it becomes clear that our enemies will never accept our way of life. It's us or them. Each mission puts this crew at risk, but everyone here would gladly give their lives to preserve democracy. You know, this destroyer has enough ordnance to level a small moon. I've done the calculations myself. Even though the First Galactic War ended almost 100 years ago, we're still enjoying the freedom those heroes fought and died for. Maybe in another 100 years, our descendants will be doing the same. Super Destroyer crew assignments are some of the most sought after in the fleet. Everyone wants to be on a Helldiver's destroyer.
Oh, I see you've secured some research samples. You can spend those at the terminal over there to upgrade the Super Destroyer. Get enough of them, and we'll see what this baby can really do.
Here's the problem with the bots, Helldiver. Their whole society revolves around violence. If they actually won the war, they'd have no idea how to function. I thought we had a lot of planets when I was a kid, but we've settled dozens more since then. A few generations from now, and the entire Milky Way will be one united democracy. 01000001, 01001000. That was the first intercepted bot message. Our analysts think it means, kill all humans. I hear a new voting algorithm is coming soon. Supposed to have even better candidate selection than the current one, if you can believe it.
You crash on an uncharted planet, stranded, light years from liberty. Then you hear them. They're almost on you, teeth gnashing, venom glistening in the twin moonlight. Suddenly, you remember the one thing that can save you. Ego sweat. One spray and the world shifts. You mount the beasts and rise, master of your domain, a god among the cosmos. Before long, you are home.
Eagle sweat. With patented nanofragrance technology that literally puts odor molecules to the rack. Until they give up their secrets. Eagle sweat. Don't just smell it. Live it.
The enemies on the battlefield are one thing, but at least they're out in the open. It's the traitors among us I truly hate. If we don't stop the bugs' mindless reproduction, the burden's going to fall on our children. And our children's children. You know, the problem with the bugs is that they're relentless expansionists. In their region of space, we found them on nearly every planet we've settled.
If you've got any medals or super credits, you can spend them in the acquisition store. That's where they sell the fancy stuff.
I wonder what we'll do with the automatons after this. Simplest would be to eradicate them, like the Illuminate, but I don't know. Maybe we can put them to work in the mines, like we did with the cyborgs, huh?
For too long, we have allowed these upstart robots to harry our heels. Now, while the termicide keeps the bugs at bay, we may at last expunge this animatronic nuisance. The enemy is attempting to seize one of our planets. We must join the defense.
The more we fight, the more it becomes clear that our enemies will never accept our way of life. It's us or them.
Freedom's greetings. I'm your host, Coretta Kelly. Helldivers continue efforts to eradicate the automaton threat in Operation Swift Disassembly. The Minister of Defense has indicated that the operation's goal is the total destruction of all automatons, saying, peace is not an option. The automatons are programmed for two things: violence and hating freedom. Coming up next, are toilet stalls dissident hideouts? More on that when we return.